hard. And if you're in a Azir in this game where you are just DPSing down that front line, you feel very, very happy. So once again, I think this is a game that really should just go to Beyond, barring a big performance from CFO, which potentially they could do it, right? Like, that is a team with the individuals on there that, you know, has the potential to put up the performances they need to get over the line. But if they have a disastrous early game like the previous one, or even if they have a mediocre early game, I feel like it might not be enough.
For sure. And we have Conqueror on the Azir. I was going to ask you what rune you expect to see, but I have been answered. It is the Conqueror. It makes a lot of sense. You don't really need the fleet in this matchup.
Yeah, I'm a Conqueror Zero enjoyer these days. I think Lethal Tempo before was quite nice when you weren't rushing out the Nasher and you instead rushed out the Leandries as your mythic. Oh, did he just get some gold?
Yeah, he got the 10.
Oh my god, he's rich.
Yeah.
Dude, look at him. 10 gold lead.
He's not even going to fish again.
He's used up all his luck.
Yeah.
There's probably no more fish left in the river.
Yeah, that's fair. He just caught 10 at once. Oh,
here we go.
That's going to be a winner. There's no way he gets it twice in a row.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Yeah, it's a winner. That's all right, 11 gold lead.
You take those.
Don't complain about that.
Shouldn't got himself some gold.
Okay.
There's some more.
He certainly did. Now I'm interested to see what Lulu purchases first here. I think we're going to see two Dream Makers in terms of the support items. But will Lulu go for Arden or will she instead go for that Moonstone? Obviously a lot of power really in both items. It might even depend on what the game is looking like at any given time.
Potentially. I think rushing out the straight Ardent makes a lot of sense this game. I'm really interested to see what exact build Fang goes for because, you know, you mentioned before the Hexplate into Titanic into Runans is a build. Sometimes they still go the Hexplate into Navori, so that could be something. And I wonder if that is the play of this game because I honestly don't think there's a whole lot of threat onto Fang, and he has that Lulu already. I think he can itemize very aggressively, but maybe you see it as, you know, there is so little threat that if you do build tanky, well, you're still going to deal a lot of damage and literally no one will kill you. Like maybe all you need to do is just survive that Silas ult, you know, stealing the Vi, and then just clean it up from there.
Big trades coming out, bot. Favouring CFO for the time, but Shun certainly getting a bit low in regards to his mana.
Something you don't often see is that longsword 3-star from Shun. I guess he just wants to rush out. Do you think he's just going to go a straight Dirk item? Because sometimes you do just see the Voltaic picked up as the very first item. So maybe he just wants that Dirk on first base. Does give him a lot of power.
I do think it looks... I think if you're going longsword, you generally are trying to get that Dirk as soon as possible. We also see sometimes overseas as well the Yomus on Lucian.
Yeah.
We'll see though. It's definitely a different look than what we saw from Fing last game, and Casa once again looking for invades. Is going to see that this red buff is no longer there, and
ooh, he's looking bar.
Yeah, we'll be spotted on this ward, but can Fing and Staedra get out? Forward it does go Shun, and nice escape there from Fing. Not going to have to use any stuns.
Can they turn this?
Yeah, Casa, he's lost his flash now, and he's very slow when he's dismounted. Husha is in the area. Will have flash available. Vault Breaker coming through. Does he look for the flash? He's not going to.
Yeah, I think it's very slightly out of range. And Driver, what happened there?
Quick recall.
We like that.
I actually think, that's smart. Very, very smart. Cleared the wave. Instead of recalling, just executing the tower. He's not a KDA player. No. He's here to get a job done.
He does. And I think, in the mid lane, Gory, does he get the solo kill here? I think he's got it.
Flash is available.
Oh, doesn't quite have it.
Husha now.
It's going to be forced away, but I think very important that is there to not give over a first blood to Silas would be one of the worst things you could possibly do.
Yeah, kind of surprising that the lane is going in such a way. It must have been a misplay somewhere along the lines for 1116 on this Azir. Has gone back though, now has a recurve bow.
Cannon denied as well. So not too bad there.
Yeah, Husha manages to pick himself up a big chicken. Shock's preferred mini legend, if anyone was curious.
True. Okay, 20 seconds on that first dragon. And I wonder if we'll see either team actually prioritize going for it. I think, you know, this is a game where I think both the grubs and the first dragon are not as important. I think just ensuring that your lanes are in good states here is probably the best, although Husha, he's already looking towards those Void Grubs. He's pinged his way towards it.
Good time for it. Castle recalling.
It currently has a lot of top priority. Now, mid-pro isn't the best, but I think he probably knows that Casa would have cleared those top camps and is likely making his way down the map. So this... Ooh.
How good is he at doing this? Because if you can, some champions, you can, like, execute all three at once.
Yeah, I wonder if he could have aimed the AoE a bit better, but... Ultimately, is going to get them. Casa, I think, once he sees these start going down, will probably just beeline towards the dragon and try and pick that up. Currently has that bot in mid priority, so most likely will go his way. 1116 just recalled mid as well, so it feels like that is an uncontested drag if he wants it. But first, it's going to make his way towards the Raptors, so really taking the advantage of Gory. Having that mid prior is going to try to take away a bit more, knowing that he can go to dragon later on if he still wants it, or maybe that first dragon, it just isn't that important.
Yeah, and you have Silas level 6 now. Your bot lane should be winning for the most part, so it does feel like you can take this dragon almost at will. Level 6 is here with a recurve bow. Certainly is not going to be as good as skirmishing as Gory on this Silas. Dragon will be started up. Is going to use that crash down, and Rel fairly competent at taking these dragons, although Chemtech is one of the harder ones to take down. Very, very tanky.
They will bring their bot lane over to it, just to DPS this down. It is going to be a decent pickup, but I think you're still wanting more out of your early game here as CFO. You've got that Dirk on the Lucian, so if you can force some fights to happen around your Lucian and your Stars, do they actually want this fight? I feel like they don't.
Okay, Casa is able to secure it. Slaytrue flashes forward to land a Glitter Lance. Very interesting.
I'm very surprised that BYG actually looked for that, because I think that Azir clearly was not ready to fight, and I think fighting into a Dirk Lucian doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm also surprised that CFO didn't pull the trigger a bit harder. I think that Gory could have just altered the Azir into the team fight and maybe forced out a flash, so kind of weird, I think, from both sides.
Yeah, the Lulu flash Q.
That was pretty base.
That's an engage I've never seen before.
Never seen my Lulu, I guess. Husha quickly pass towards that red buff, and if he can sneak this away, that's a fairly good bit of power for the top side of the map.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so it does now take that. So any 2v2s they take around the top side will feel pretty good. And will they look to contest anymore? I feel like still 2v2s might not be in their best interest, especially with Azir not having items, not having the ult. And has to be careful of Gory getting aggressive. If he hits that chain, manages to dodge it out.
Yeah, BYG being at a 600 gold natural lead does feel a little bit scary because they are the better scaling comp. Gory getting too aggressive.
He was in range.
We'll be able to use that cease and desist. Gory 1 HP, and Husha once again 2 for 2, picks himself up 2 first bloods. Red buff securing it this time.
A very nice play there. Does manage to get that first blood, and I think while you would prefer it on Azir, it's definitely not bad on Vi, especially early on in the game.
The doctor has to be careful. Will be able to dodge out. Does not manage to. Will flash.
Nice flash.
Does make that all out go the wrong way, but here comes the flash from Casa. The crash down. Ward jump. Does dodge out. He's going to try and trade it back. Rest is going to pick up that kill. Casa does tank it long enough for him to go down. So the 1-for-1 up on the top side, but Shun turning around the bot side. Polymorph does come out to stop that culling, but it should just be a matter of auto attacks, relentless pursuit. Barrier comes through, and it's the double kill. The 2v2 found here on the bot side. CFO's bot lane turning up now in game number 2. Husha in the area, though. He's not spotted out. Does have flash available.
Yeah, he's going to wait.
Look for it. There is a ward, so they do know.
Oh my god. Red side, bot side.
Yeah, okay. Shun does have flash available. I don't think this is a kill, but it should definitely... Oh!
Wait. Can he chase him down, maybe?
No,
he cannot.
no.
No mana.
He's fine, but that was well played from both players, I think.
I think so too. That really is the lead that bot lane needs, though. Getting 2 kills with your Dirk Spike feels very, very good.
Feng with both sums as well.
Weapon here. Oh, we'll get the replay on the first blood. I think Gory, he definitely knew here, right? Like, you can tell he's hesitant. He knows that 116 is hugging to his jungler. I think he probably just didn't expect Vi to be in ult range, to be honest, because it was pretty far. He did even have flash at the end there, but probably wouldn't have got him out. And then onto the top side, I think Driver played this pretty much as well as he could have, dodged almost everything, but just CFO, they had a bit too much. And they were able to take him out eventually. Was that flash invested, though? 2 flashes used.
Yeah. Does turn back 1 for himself. So.
Yeah.
I mean, about as good as it gets.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. And then on the bot side, I mean, it was looking good for BYG. They got a lot of damage traded over, but I think the problem is Beyond just ran out of damage. They couldn't quite finish Sorta. Had nothing left, and Shun was still full HP, so with no threat remaining, just walks forward, picks up one, ticks level 6, and then Slaytrue takes so much damage on the way out. And again, exactly what you need. Getting these 2 kills, I mean, Lucian Milio snowballs so incredibly hard, and much more what I think we would expect from this caliber of bot lane. It is the Ghostblade picked up first for Shun.
So what you about Vision? He calls builds.
He certainly does. Okay, now could this be a dive on a bot side? This time there are sums missing. It's much harder for Beyond to survive this.
116 does have teleport, and there is a nice teleport ward, so it is definitely very dangerous.
Yeah, it looks like they will wisely back away. I think still having the ults as well does make it pretty difficult. I think the Lulu Wild Growth can make things a lot more difficult down there.
Yeah, and I think both sums didn't use them in the occasion he died.
Just pushing in mid for now is 1116. He's got himself a nice little lead. Obviously, some of that comes from that first blood, but I think already being ahead of his Sylas and Sylas not finding anything generally does bode well for the Azir, and I think a lot of this game is now looking at Shun. You know, how much can he get done? And it's that Shirelli is picked up by Sword Art, so really just wants to go forward. And a proto belt picked up for Sylas. That's kind of interesting. There's a lot of different Sylas builds going around. Sometimes you see the, hold that thought, as Driver is engaged on.
Yeah, we'll use that counter-strike and he should be fine. It's just going to be the ult invested by Rest. I think he should change back to his regular tanky form, though, to get his ult coming back off cooldown.
It is that Hexplate picked up by the Zeri, but back to the proto belt. So I think the best Sylas build is to go Rod of Ages into Cosmic. I think proto belt honestly kind of sucks on Sylas, so we'll have to see as Engage comes out in a Shun already.
Shun will be found. There is a lot of healing, but here comes that lightning crash, and so much damage. Husha picking himself up a second kill for the game. Kasa getting very, very low, running to his tower, and Sword Art as well. Tail between his legs, running back. It is going to be resets, but it's going to be, importantly, second dragon here, and first of the game for BYG.
I think that's a very important kill, not even so much for the goal, but just because this is a fight that CFO would really like to force, right? They've got that one-item spike on Sylas, you've got an extremely strong Lucian, so you want to be forcing fights in the river and beyond. Even just managing to disable this play would have been enough, but actually taking out the Lucian, stopping him from farming, and getting a dragon above all that is such a good outcome. We'll take another look at how it happens. So currently Azir is basing. So it feels like CFO, they should have control of the river. They've got the Sylas coming down. Was it maybe just greedy pathing that ended up costing Shun? We'll see. Yeah, the TP flank comes in and Shun, you know, without the flash, just couldn't cover the distance and then went into the waiting arms of 1116 here, who just ended up taking him out.
Really nice wild growth to cancel the culling there too. Back to live though. This plate is going to go down if 116 allows one minion to auto it. See. He didn't. I swear that's a let the plate go down angle.
116 has to be quite careful. Oh, nice ward.
Yeah, very good ward. So,
I saw that ward on Twitter, just saying. Being able to place it over the wall can save your life, as you just saw there.
Definitely. Especially when the Sylas does have access to that Emperor's Divide. Obviously, flash Emperor's Divide while your jungler's around can lead to a very quick death. Privy to it, though, stays alive. He's going to be able to keep farming up. Quite happy. Of course, as things stand, it's a 1k gold advantage to BYG, despite the 3-3 score. As well as they've picked themselves up a dragon. I believe they got 6 Void Grubs as well. Emperor's Divide will come out. 116 going to get himself out there with the Shurima Shuffle. Things look a little bit dicey, but we'll be okay.
It ultimately is fine. I think very happy just to be outscaling here. As long as there isn't too much action early, I think Beyond should feel better and better as that Zeri and Azir are just pulling ahead, and they do outscale. I think the window is closing a little bit for CFO, for Sylas to have this impact. And remember that this is first pick Azir, and then last pick Sylas, I believe, right? So he has seen the matchup, he's seen the entire comp. And to find this little impact is not a good look.
I'm a little curious here at Rest's itemization. I think... I don't know, you tell me, but I think Hollow Radiance doesn't make a whole lot of sense in this game.
Yeah, that's a little strange.
Okay, teleport coming
totally
through.
Sure.
It's going to be Rest. A lot of members, though, he's going to have to just teleport down immediately run away. Rift Shield, though, should be picked up by Caster on the opposite side of the map, unless Driver wants to get a little bit spicy.
It should just be picked up. And CFO, they need to bring themselves to a more substantial lead, actually being down 2k gold right now. They had those 2 kills on the Lucian, and it was looking so good, but a couple throws here and there have made things a little more difficult. If they could break open this mid tower, allow Silas to play aggressively on the side lane, they could find some ways to make some picks. But they need to find it soon, because the longer this game goes, I think, especially as Beyond gets towards their 2 and 3 items, things will start to look pretty dire for the side of CFO.
Ooh. Right about, doesn't manage to connect, and 116 able to take away any potential for using that first strike. Can be important. A lot of gold can be farmed in one game with that first strike rune.
Casa, he's getting pretty aggressive. But Feng knows he's got so many people around him.
Just looking for the Scuttle Crab.
And how bad do you feel here as Shun, where you've got 2 kills and you're 2v2 and you're still down 30 CS to the Zeri, just slowly falling behind as Zeri is getting closer and closer to being just too tanky to deal with. And Vision is pushed out here, and Gory, he won't be able to get Pro on this top wave, and does need to be a little careful of getting dived, especially with that mid-Pro coming from Beyond. Ooh. Will he face check? He does. Going to take a little bit of damage for it. And does he give up this tower? I think he will. He doesn't have members around him. So once again, 1116 going to be the beneficiary of getting these side lane towers. And that's so much gold onto your Azir. And you can see how quickly it does go down. Will they get up here in time to stop it? Ooh, maybe.
The divide is massive. They will be able to get down this tower. Does 116 have his ult available? But in the meantime, there's so much damage coming down. It's Stay True, who's able to find the first kill. Feng with that lightning crash is looking for more, but CC comes through. Clears Will, but there's Driver. The counter-strike will lock up Sword Art, but he's not able to go down before that flash and heal is able to come out. And despite a lot of action, it was just one person going down. It's Gory going down. Tower was picked up, and now Shun, he's getting aggressive. Stay True so low, and Shun will find that second auto. Flash coming through from Feng, but Shun is so fast. Feng able to just get away, but now Rest is here. The fight does continue. 116 arrives, teleporting back from base into that mid lane.
Another TP coming in from Gory.
This is going to be Gory now trying to join the fray. He shouldn't have access to his ultimate, but he does. He's going to be able to pick up that cease and desist, and now it's Husha going down. The Rift Shield will crash as Caster drives it into that mid lane tower. Down it goes, and the chains land. Driver's getting so low. 116 trying to do the damage, will not have it in him. And a huge team fight win here from CFO from top to mid, and we're still going. Crash down does happen, and now Shiralias should mean they get away.
That small overstay, basing in a bush with a ward, and it ends up costing Beyond in a huge way as CFO almost completely close up that lead. And now get some more kills exactly where they want it. A kill on Silas and a couple more on Shun. With that second dragon coming up, they have the items to contest it if they want, and we'll get a second look at it. So it starts off very well for Beyond. They managed to finish off this tower without anyone else going down. There just isn't the damage here. Gory has nothing left, and Shun's not yet here on the Lucian. So the carries can DPS for free. Everything is looking good for Beyond. Lots of things invested nice and early, and it really is the overstay that turns everything around at the end. I think if Beyond had just left here, would be in a fantastic position, but the greedy recall cost them so much. Could have just backed a little further off. You've got to feel like this is watered at this point, right? I think the signs were definitely there. Flash was invested from both bot laners. Feels pretty bad.
Driver going to be forced off this Rift Scuttle. Going to be picked up there by Shun, who's finding himself more and more gold as the game goes on, but importantly, I think the Zeri should outscale, so while he is ahead, ultimately gold does remain completely even between the two teams. One dragon in favor of BYG. We're able to get that dragon despite the team fight loss. Now Driver going to find a lot of damage onto Gory. Wildgrove is picked up there by this Lulu, but everyone's coming in now. Husha's able to find a nice cease and desist here onto Gory. Getting very low. Now Shun, though, comes in with the culling. It's not going to mean much as Caster does get picked up. Feng going to be the recipient of that gold. And just a clean 1-for-0 here in favor of the side of BYG.
It is Baron now sporting And you've got to feel like every time one team gets a lead, they just throw it right back. How cool is that?
Yeah. Got the second iteration of our Baron pits here in this game.
But yeah, now Zeri is looking pretty strong. Still ahead in the CS, but obviously so much gold here picked up by Shun. Still should be ahead for now. And you got to wonder, you know, CFO, what are they playing for? Because currently you don't really have a Dragon win condition. I think that goes for Beyond. I don't think you really outscale either. You don't have a split push win con, so it feels like you're kind of just hoping that Beyond mess up. And I think definitely with the way Beyond played game number 1, you would say that, okay, this is a team that is disciplined enough that, okay, well, maybe they can't actually end the game quickly, but they can make sure that they don't throw it. But in this game, haven't quite been as clean. You have to see how they do from here on out, because I think even a 1k gold lead with this team comp they have is still pretty substantial, especially over the early game spikes that should be coming out of CFO. And it feels like more needs to get done here, and soon, for CFO.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like as well, the front to back team fight here for BYG is just insanely strong. Like, there is no real threat on this team of CFO towards Feng, especially with the Lulu. It doesn't feel like there's any real way of which Feng should be punished. And of course, when you have Jax, you have Vi, you have the Azir, the job for Lucian is a lot harder. It feels like Lucian's also the only one really with the damage to take out Feng. So really a lot of weight on this Lucian's shoulders as he is going to be jumping on in. Kasa finding himself a nice flank alongside Gory. Gory will have that ult available. Driver getting picked up. He's not going to be able to get anything off. Wildgrowth does come out and he is going to be saved. But that's a big commitment here. Attention now from CFO. Will it go towards the Baron? It does feel a little bit risky as Driver does have that teleport available for him. But of course, Wildgrowth as well as the Jax ult being down means a lot of pressure off the map.
They probably do not want to start this up. But until then, they can continue to control this mid wave. I wonder if you even play for dragons at all. At this point, I feel like maybe trading a dragon away and just bursting down a Baron could be the way to go. Although this Baron is admittedly quite hard to do, because if the enemy team does come, there's a lot of walls for them to play behind. 116, though, could be caught under this tower. Has to be very, very careful. He's away. Blue trinkets the bush. Wisely backs away. In the meantime, that will be Beyond having full control over the mid lane. And this might be CFO giving up their mid-tier 1 if they're not careful.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any clear path for CFO to get back and defend this, although the teleport will do it.
Teleport is committed, and he does have a flank. This will be a fight.
Yeah, Husha's managed to find the season assist here onto Shun. Shun's going to be dealing with this Vi for a long, long time. Everyone, though, turning their attention towards Husha. They're not able to find him. In comes a crash down. Kasa finding a really nice ult for himself. All out comes through, and Rest is trying to run distraction. Feng, though, getting so low. Able to dodge out there off the third Natofu strikes. And Slaytrue running for his life. And 116 getting found in the process. So despite what I said, Feng getting pressured very, very well. Is able to be found. And now half health bars on CFO should mean they're able to find this Baron. Teleport available, though, for Driver.
Yeah, I think they're going to try contest. We'll see if they're able to. Maybe you can stop this base from Gory. I think they can. Yeah. That makes it a lot more contestable. There are a lot of ults missing from CFO, and I don't think they can do this anymore.
Yeah, and resets are going to have to come through, which leads priority over mid lane as well as both sides of the river here to the side of BYG, which means Dragon or Baron they could look at.
Yeah. Again, you wanted more, though, there as CFO. It was a really nice engage found by Kasa. Was able to take down Feng really, really low early in the fight, but they didn't manage to get any objectives off it. Now they are, for the first time in a long time, ahead in gold, and could probably use that to keep forcing some fights, but I think next fight could be difficult. While there are no sums on Feng, you are missing those sums on your engage. No Ghost on Rest and no Flash on Kasa. Those can be the differences between picking the Zeri or not. Shun, though, very, very strong on the solution. Ghost played into Kraken Navori. Certainly has the damage. As Husha may be looking for something along mid, flexing his muscles, but isn't going to go for it.
No, Wisely will not be using that Vault Breaker to go forward. And now Caster's going to start up this Dragon. And it seems like BYG have no interest in it. They're in fact turning their attentions and a lot of pings going down onto this Baron.
Yeah, can they do it?
Sword Art's recalling.
Yeah, I think there's enough vision that Beyond probably won't start it, but it gets riskier, obviously, the longer you don't get there as CFO. They're going to immediately have to come back topside and recontest some of this vision.
Yeah, Rest, though. Herding the cattle outside of that river. And now vision control should start slowly going back towards CFO. Gold still does remain even, but importantly, as we've touched on multiple times, as Zeri starts to get more and more items, everything should start favoring the side of BYG. As well, of course, they do have this Azir. The Jax does start to win out more and more as the game progresses also.
And I wonder... Ooh. Anathema's Chain's picked up by Lucia. I guess that's just going on Lucian.
But Lucia doesn't have a stun. I mean, I guess there's a micro stun at the end of his ult as well as the Q.
Yeah,
but
I think he just bought it for the damage reduction.
Of course. Does feel a little bit... I'm not sure. A little bit how you going.
Is that Sun to Sky now picked up by Driver. So that 2-item spike is very, very strong here. Is BYG currently in control, but have to concede it over to CFO as they had control of the mid-wave. Gory coming back on the map has his Zhonya's, still feeling very weak, I think, on the Sylas. The Protobelt Zhonya's definitely not the highest damage build you could go for, and doesn't really have much health behind it either. I think at this point, his main job really is just to steal an important ultimate, something like the Vi, and find a way to lock down the likes of Feng or 1116. Both currently flashless, can be vulnerable.
Absolutely. Both of those carries will get their flash drop at the same time. Crash down does come down. It is, as you said, though, onto this tank. Kusha really not feeling much, and that's just a Ral ult gone for nothing.
Feels pretty strange. I think there's never really going to be anything done by starting a fight onto the Vi. I think you definitely need to be able to find some carries. It isn't the longest cooldown in the world, but it is a very important one, and Beyond can use that small window in order to really regain some control over this, and once again keep slowing down the game, allow that Zeri and Nazir to get more items. Shun, he gets aggressive onto Driver, forces him back for now, and Gory, I'm not sure he wants that one to hit.
Yeah, I'm not convinced either. Of course, as well, as Jungler does not have ult available. But Control certainly is in favour of CFO, just the nature of having a 5-in-1 Lucian, and Shun's certainly a player that can get the job done. Definitely on a timer though, is Gory going to continue to try and find himself any farm he possibly can get. 116 again, likely to go for the Void Staff. Of course, could go Crypt Bloom, but a lot of MR coming through means the extra 10% of Magic Pen certainly very meaningful.
Yeah. I think it makes a lot of sense.
Also, Azir's not really trying to kill someone in 3 seconds.
That is true. Now, this next dragon is third drag for either team, which means a somewhat realistic dragon win condition if it's picked up. At the same time, DPS is now high enough that I think trading a Baron for a dragon is very realistic for either side. And Beyond, maybe you have to be careful here. There is a big flank by Gory, but he goes back onto the top wave, so now showing doesn't need to be too scared here.
Yeah, I think BYG really want to wait until this Titanic comes through. Assuming that's what he's going for. Could actually just be the Navori by the looks of it.
Yeah, might be. I think he's feeling safe enough. Although he didn't look too safe in the last team fight.
Yeah, kind of got dismantled. Rest coming through. Feng will be able to get himself out, and Husha's certainly not the target he wants, so nothing will come of it, but certainly good looks. Culling does come through, doesn't find a whole lot of damage, but will secure the second tier mid lane tower, which opens up the map even more. Of course, already fairly open as their mid lane tower remains alive. Driver, though, getting to work now on this bot side tower. They did pick up the 6 Void Grubs, so a lot of damage coming through. Rest coming to answer. Will not answer in time, though. That does go down, but will they look for the kill now onto Driver? He does feel like he's in a bit of a predicament.
Yeah, I think if you're BYG, you almost need to start Baron here just to peel people away from Driver, although he might manage to make... Yeah, I think he's out. Yeah. That was pretty good escape. I think BYG maybe should have started Baron, not even to do it, just to bring people away, because I think Driver very easily could have died for free, and that could have been CFO starting up the Baron.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised he was able to get out that easily. I mean, if the kick landed there from Sword Art, of course he probably wouldn't have, but it does feel like there was a way that CFO should have been able to find Driver there on the Jax, but they weren't. Picks himself up that inner. That's 700 gold in his back pocket, which feels extremely good. I think it's one of the most therapeutic things in League of Legends now is taking a side lane at second tier tower.
Yeah.
You just get so much gold from it.
Cassante has now grabbed his Jack Show, so Rest feeling mighty unkillable in the top side. You can see the gold there. A lot in Shun's pockets. Definitely reflected in his items at the moment. And BYG, they're having a stab at this Baron, but doesn't feel super realistic just yet. Currently, though, Beyond have committed most of their resources to the top side, so can't really face check bot Gory. He's going to take the Vi ult.
Yeah, Stay True might be in trouble here. Going to have to commit that flash. Half HP due to that culling, and cease and desist picked up for Gory with that hijack.
Drive up back to making progress on the bot side. Feels like no one can really match him in the 1v1, although I think likes of Rest could definitely just hold the towers, and Gory does force him away for now.
Yeah, I think Driver's just happy bringing people to his lane. It means there's pressure off this potential Baron. It gives his team more time to scale, get those items. You really want 116 to complete this Void Staff before you look for anything super important, as third Dragon likely to be picked up here from CFO. Not the end of the world. Of course, you don't want to be giving over the soul for free. But at this stage of the game, one team fight could lead to Baron, which could lead to the end of the game, so you don't feel the worst.
Yeah. It is, again, more gold picked up by Beyond. In the meantime, they have been giving up these dragons, but they're continuing to pressure side lanes, taking away camps, getting more spikes. Maybe they're playing for that Azir Void stuff before they take their next fight, because it does feel with the amount of magic resist that has come in already that you really do need that in order to deal any damage here.
Yeah, Canic Recurn, you've got Jack Show.
Yeah, the Hollow Radiance as well. There is just a lot of magic resist on that front line. Now a Lichbane picked up by Gory. So he's actually got himself a fair amount of burst here.
For sure.
I think he is still useful just because he can take the Vial. And that is quite hard to play against.
Vial, try and trade your life for things.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're able to do that, you should just roll the team fight.
Yeah, I mean, even if you just get in and Zonya, right? Like, you can waste a lot of time.
Yeah, it feels very hard for Fing to ever go forward at that point.
Out DPSing the Gromp healing. It's classic.
Now,
Shun's looking.
Do you have to feel like this Void Staff should be on the verge of completion by now?
Yeah, not far away. And I think Beyond, I really don't think you want to fight here.
Oh, that was
need to be careful.
Scary.
I think they're looking very aggressive when they probably should just be funneling a bit more farm onto this Azir. Get him his spike and then get him off the map. Maybe they'll give him this blue buff gold. Looks like he's got it. How strange does it look, just seeing everyone with double buff?
Yeah, just flies around and gives everyone double buff. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Okay, rest. Working away at this bot tower, but isn't going to pick it up. Driver. Ooh. Actually, CFO, they start this, and they might get this.
Yeah, Husha's going to spot it out.
Oh, TP comes in. They know now.
Yeah, Driver, is he going to be able to get there? There's no real way for him to get in there.
Yeah, TP's come, but I think it's gone. I think CFO, they punished. Ooh, they're going to
look for the fight. So it will be the Baron picked up here from CFO, but what happens afterwards is yet to be seen, as the fight looks like it's going to break out. Everything going on to Husha. He's going to land up a bit of CC. Caster does come into it. Driver finds a two-man stun with that counter-strike. Rest, however, he's finding his way here. Fing going to have to flash away after getting all out into the team. Will land the slow, and Driver continuing on forward. Corey goes forward as well. But everyone gets away. It's just the Baron heist here for CFO. They pull the trigger and they're rewarded.
They are just too tanky. Maybe there'll be a TP flank. It does come through Beyond. They might have overextended here.
Bars.
They've got to be very, very careful. How are they going to get out? There is no flash on Feng.
Yeah.
Oh, Slaytru
explodes. Slaytru just gets absolutely annihilated. Husha trying to get away. Gory does go golden here in the middle of the fight. 116 now stuck with his tower, but he's finding so much damage. Gory will go down. It's traded, though, as Husha, as well as 116, is taken out. Feng is going to be spotted, but he's not going to be stopped, so does get that recall off. It's going to be Driver now and Feng with it all to do to defend here.
Yeah, can they hold on to this? I feel like CFO might have just, not quite in the game, but really kind of put the game in such a difficult position for Beyond, because now you have to get on the map, you have to get a lot of control to somehow contest this fourth dragon. But the problem is CFO, they will still have their Baron buff when this dragon spawns. And I think giving a Cloud Dragon over to this comp could be pretty problematic. So we'll take a look at the replay. I mean, CFO, they pulled the trigger very fast. They got it nice and early. And I think the fight was looking pretty good for Beyond. But honestly, they're just lacking damage. I mean, you can see how long the front line lives here. Despite the Azir and despite the Zeri DPSing them the whole time, no one is dying. They all managed to get out, and you can see Beyond, they start to overextend a bit too far. They want to take this mid tower. They want to get something for this Baron, but that pink ward on full vision behind them is just the perfect TP ward for Gory, who comes in. I believe he's level 16, has so much burst, and immediately sets his eyes on Slaytru, who just has nowhere to go and instantly explodes here. And that's a lot of the peel now gone. With the front line collapsing and the Lulu down, it's too hard for Beyond to maintain a cohesive front line or anything here, really, and the damage dealers are just picked off one by one.
Yeah. Shun just cleaning up all the scraps here, but I think importantly, one thing to notice is Shun no longer has his summoners, and I think his summoners are a lot more important than Feng's. And so if Vi is able to get on this Lucian, it's a whole lot harder for him to survive in this next fight. We have the Void Staff completed. We also have the LDR completed now onto Feng, so that damage will be hitting just that bit higher. Now, Air Dragon will be spawning. The Cloud Dragon is up, and obviously CFO having complete control over the river. BYG looking. Rest is going to get stunned up. He's going to get low. He goes unstoppable. Does get himself out. Mid lane control afforded though to Beyond, and Shun going forward. Counter-Strike does come out to stop any of that follow-up damage. BYG not really able to get anything as of yet. Driver going to be jumping forward. Caster by himself does not have any sums available. So tanky are the members of CFO as Driver now being looked at. Shun going to find a nice culling. Taking Husha to about half HP, and Feng is going to be in there. Feng's going to get all out. Polymorph does come through onto Rest, and now Feng trying to find the damage. As Driver finds a nice stun, but Breath of Light means that nothing will come of it, and the all-out comes down. Ooh. Feng is taken out. It's going to be BYG getting so low. 116 with it all to do. The kick away will land. Driver, 116, that's all that is left, and now there is nothing. Rest picks himself up a triple. It's the clean ace, and after 37 minutes, it's going to be 1-1 now. CFO tying the series.
The CFO, they come back big in game number 2. Definitely wasn't a clean game, but they get it done in the end. With a few hiccups here and there. And that last fight was pretty hectic. I hope we get a replay of it in the post-game because I think that was so close to Beyond managing to win that fight despite being at that deficit. But game number 2 now picked up the series, tied at 1-1. Of course, we're going to game number 3.
We certainly are. And I mean, this series is